Welcome everybody back to another episode of Daydream Legends. Sorry for being off again another week. I've been really, I took a week off a few weeks ago. Then last week I took off. I didn't plan on taking off last week. What happened was, as I've talked about on this podcast, my dog Cody has been, he had to go for surgery, for double cataract surgery. So it was just like a tough week, and I just couldn't wrap my mind around creating a podcast because my mind was on other things, worrying about him. Because what made me worry, actually, okay, before I do this, let's get all this stuff out of the way. I forgot. I was going right into stories. Real quick, thank you for all the subscribers. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. If you're on YouTube, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, and go subscribe to the audio feed, and audio feed, blah, 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 blah. Go over to YouTube. Got that out of the way. I appreciate it. Let's just get right into it.
Here's what's happening.
Back to last week. Planning on doing the podcast, and I was nervous because, as some of you know, my dog has diabetes, and he's been regulated for years. Like, he always ran high with his blood sugar, but he was always healthy and regulated. So the eye surgeon, Dr. Holmberg, I believe his name is, was like, he's got to be regulated or he can't do the surgery. But also his eyesight is decreasing at a rapid pace from the cataracts. Like, normally a dog with why can't I think of the word right now? Diabetes. Hello, my brain isn't working today. A dog with diabetes sometimes would get cataracts in like the first 12 months sometime. This February, it'll be 3 years since Cody got diagnosed. That's how good he's been being regulated. But of course, so he's like, you got to go to your vet, get a blood test, make sure he's regulated. Take him there, not regulated. I mean, regulated, but high, very high. So we don't know why that's happening. So we give it another week, still high. So I have to have my vet sign off that he'll be healthy enough for this operation. And like, my vet did a face like this, like, yeah, I think he will be. And I'm like, what do you mean you think he will be? Don't do that sound. I think he will be. Do you know? I'm not, you're the medical professional. So he believed we should do it because we don't know when Cody's going to lose his sight. So it's either we decide he's going to go blind or go for it. So I went for it because I'm like, he's only 8. I don't want him to be blind. He could live another 8 years. I want him to see things. Our whole existence, me and him, is going out in the trails, looking at stuff and chasing squirrels. Well, he chases squirrels. I don't. Chasing things and enjoying life. I'm not going to have him go blind if I can help it. So drop him off for the surgery, and that just made that day so nerve-wracking because in the back of my psycho mind, like you all know about me, I'm like, he's not regulated. I hope this goes okay. So I bring him at 7:30 in the morning. That's my appointment, 7:30 in the morning. There's one other little dog. They go, all right, we'll call you 10:30 with an update. He should be out of surgery then. 10:30 comes, no call. 11:30 comes, no call. Now I'm in panic mode. I'm like, and I'm already thinking how hard I'm going to slap these doctors if something happened, like if he, God forbid, passed away. I know I shouldn't hit them, but I will hit. I was going to, just for my own personal satisfaction. So 12:30 rolls around. I'm like, I'm calling, and I call. They're like, oh yeah, we decided to do another dog first, so he hasn't gone in yet. I'm like, and you have me sitting here waiting? You have me sitting here waiting like a maniac for your call. You didn't think to tell me that? So they go, all right, he's going to be going into surgery now. He's in a good mood. We'll call you around 2:30. And of course, 2:30 rolls around, nothing. They call me at 3:30. I'm like, you guys just really have no respect for mental illness and how it affects people when in these situations. So that aside, I mean, I really wanted to tell them, like, you guys got to really, you got to just give better updates. That's basically it. So anyway, gets out of surgery. He's doing great. So that's what I've been doing, taking care of him. Conehead looks happy. That's his. He was, he hates the cone. Obviously, who would like walking around with a cone on their head? But he's smiling today. He's been on pain meds for a couple of days, so he keeps looking stoned. He was just like sitting there, like staring out the window, like on some sort of heavy medication. I don't know if he was enjoying it or not, but he's happy today. But what I wanted to talk about in relation to this, besides giving you the update that he's doing well, and I can tell that he can see, and his eyes look good, they're not cloudy anymore, was me discussing this surgery with a few different people and the shocking responses I got. I told people it cost $7,000 for the surgery. It cost another $1,000 just to get him ready for surgery. So $8,000 altogether. Insurance is covering a little bit because I only had a little bit left over of insurance for the year because of his diabetes, but whatever. So basically it's going to cost me $7,000 out of pocket. And I've had people say, I would have let my dog go blind. What? You would let your dog go blind? Or like, well, I don't think I could afford that. Who can? Who can afford that? You just do it because it's the right thing to do. You would let your dog go blind? How about we let you go blind? People with dogs, you always see them all the time. Oh, dogs like my family. Dogs like my family. I love my dog. They're like family. But you let it go blind because you don't want to pay it off? You are not a good person. I mean, you might be a good person in other areas of your life, but as far as pet ownership, if you're willing to do that, you're not a good person. Oh, what? So you get this dog, either rescue him or her, or get it from a puppy, and then use them for your emotional support their whole life. Like, oh, they're your emotional support animal. You're getting all this joy when they're healthy, and the moment they need you, you're going to be like, oh, sorry, you're going to go blind because I need to go on vacation this year. Get the hell out of here. You're a selfish person. I'm not talking to anybody specific. I heard this from a few people. So all of you, if that's really how you feel, or I don't know if you're just saying that to me, that is selfish. You shouldn't be allowed to have a dog. You shouldn't get one. You got to be all in or not. Listen, I get it. If your dog's old, like if Cody was like towards the end of life, of course I would not spend that much money. However, he's only 8. He's well regulated. He could live another 8 years. I had somebody say, why don't you just let him go blind in one eye and get half off? What? Half off? Hey, you want me to budget his eyesight? I hope that like when, if your what if your children treat you like that when you're old? Oh, or your grandchildren. Oh, grandma's got cataract. She's losing her sight. Sorry, she's towards the end. Can't afford it. You would let that. You're a bad person. And I hope you go blind. I do. I hope you go blind. And nobody can afford to help you. What a mean thing to do. What a mean thing. You shouldn't be allowed to own a dog. You know what they shouldn't just give dogs to people. You should get like a credit report. Be like, you can't afford this dog. Because it gets expensive when they need stuff. That's how garbage people are. People drop them off at like shelters because now they're sick and now they need to be taken care of. What an awful person you are. And I'm not saying I'm a good person for doing this. I'm not. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do because I took on the commitment of raising this dog, me and my family. So we do what we have to do. Because we do, just like all you people say, oh, they're like family. Well, then act like it. I can't believe somebody told me that. Well, one person was like, oh, if that was my dog, he'd be going to heaven. Heaven? Really? We're going, oh, you didn't even go. Let's get him blind. You're just gonna euthanize him? What? Do you people care about money that much? Okay. Here, here's a scenario where that will be okay. The dog's really old and close to being on the way out. I agree. Or if you are a really old person that has no ability to make money, like a really old person on a fixed income, fine. But at least before you euthanize it, try and give it to someone that may pay for it. You know what I mean? Before you let it go blind, ask if somebody else wants to save his eyesight. Give that opportunity first. Are you kidding me? Like, you like money that much? Like, you don't have the ability to make that money up? You know how much junk I've wasted money on in my life if I really thought about it? In these things that are super important to a living being, you're just gonna get cheap then? Can you skip a few lattes? You know, $7,000. It shouldn't take that long to get that back. I'm sorry. I'm not sorry I'm yelling. It's so, I just, people are unbelievably selfish to me. Don't tell me you love your dog and you'll let it go blind in one or both eyes or kill it rather than spend money. Boo.
Entertainment.
I don't know if anybody's watched it, but I started watching that Peacock's documentary about Casey Anthony that she put out. And shocker, her documentary obviously is very favorable to her. She still didn't kill her daughter. I mean, if you don't know, I can't give you a background. If you haven't heard of Casey Anthony and you live in America or the world, I don't even know how you don't, if you didn't live on Mars 14 years ago or however long that was. But, you know, quick, Florida mom, we all believe killed her daughter. She said she didn't, and she got off. Everybody thought she was going to. And it was so hard to watch. It's only 3 parts, but if you know, she's such a liar. It was like very uncomfortable to watch. And I feel guilty that I used to be attracted to her when she was on trial. And listen, before you judge me, I'm not alone in this. People have said that, yes, she was a killer, but you know, listen, feelings are feelings. You just feel about someone. She was hot back then. Now I can't stand her after watching this. See, it is, I never heard her talk back then. So she was just sitting there, being a hot murderer. But now that I heard her talk, I hate her. I would have to take a lot of convincing for me to go on a date with her if I was single. All right, I went off on a tangent there. However, she is so full of crap. Go watch that documentary. She's trying to listen. Okay. She's saying she didn't kill her kid. She's saying her father did. There's something weird with the dad, no doubt. But the thing that bothers me most, because she was such a habitual liar, her kid was missing for 31 days before she did anything. 31 days. If my dog was missing for a day, I'd be like, public search, getting all my friends, let's go find him. Let's figure it out. 31 days before. And she was partying. She was lying. She was getting tattoos while her daughter's missing and not telling anybody. And she blames it on trauma from abuse she got from her father, which she might have gotten abuse. She says he sexually abused her. I'll give her a benefit of the doubt on that. Okay, your father did. However, her and her lawyers and her little research people that were helping her on her trial were like, she lied and did all that because of trauma. That's the word was used so much, I just couldn't stand it. Trauma. Yeah, we all have trauma. And they're like, that's why she lied, because of trauma. So you can believe that she could be turned into a habitual liar because of trauma, but you can't believe that she killed her daughter. So trauma can cause habitual lying, but doesn't control narcissism that leads to murder. How you think the father was narcissistic enough to kill the granddaughter, but you don't think the mother who went out partying and got tattoos, that her trauma could have caused that? It was the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen in my life. I hope it's getting awful ratings. I really do, because this is such a disgusting piece about a woman who, listen, okay, I'll give them one thing. I don't believe she was alone in this whole thing. I believe her and her father, one of them did something. I believe she did something. Here's what I believe happened based off this documentary. I believe, Casey Anthony, I believe your father molested you. I do believe that. I also believe that you accidentally killed your daughter. I think you probably gave her drugs to sleep and maybe OD'd her. Then you came to your father, who was a cop, to help you cover it up. He dropped her in the pool, said, I'm going to take care of it. He dumped her body where they found it. And he kept telling you he was going to take care of it, like you said. And that's what happened with the 31 days, even though that is psycho. You know what happened, so you're just as involved. To me, you're a murderer. You're a murderer. Even if your dad did do something, even if you knew about it, you're a murderer anyway. You're an awful person. You are. We all believe. No one believes you. Nobody believes you. Nobody believes you. How do you cover up the death of your daughter? She's like, no, I think he did it and then used me. Here's what I think happened. You were covering up for your dad. You were in jail. He kept telling you that he was going to take care of it. And what happened was when you told the court that he molested you, he said, holy shit, they're going to pin this on me. And that's when he went against you, because that was the other thing. They're like, he's guilty because who would testify against their daughter if they knew she was getting the death penalty? Maybe a father who could have got the death penalty, who's been covering up for his daughter, whose daughter just said that he molested her. That would probably cause him to do it, because if he didn't molest her, now he's like, she's turned on me, I got to turn on her. I think they both should be dead, actually. Because the one thing we do know is they both were there with the dead body and for 31 days acted like they weren't. So they should both be in jail for the rest of their lives.
Guilty.
All right, we had no calls this week, probably because I haven't done a podcast in over a week and I've been inconsistent. But in the future, if you want to leave a message, a text message or a voice message, go to 973-908-8477. You could leave a message or a text message. Also, you can email me at joe@joefernandes.net if you have any weird news stories. Give me a weird news story, something odd that I can pick apart on here. Preferably current, because if people are talking about it, that would be cool. So yeah, send me anything you got. All right, I came across this on Instagram from this page, Memezar. Always has interesting stories, weird stories. This one's called Barbie Clip Goes Viral Over People Arguing Whether They Heard Oh Barbie or Oh Fuck. So I'm going to play it a few times and then I'll tell you what I think.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen. Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen.
Okay, so did you hear Oh Barbie or Oh Fuck? This is one of those weird ones where whatever you're thinking at the time, that's what you hear. So I believe they purposely did this. I don't know how they do it, but there's got to be some sort of audio waveform. I don't think this was an accident. Because go listen. I'm going to play it again twice. First time, think Oh Fuck, and we'll see what it sounds like.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen.
Okay, now think Oh Barbie.
Barbie, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen.
I'll let it play again. I'll try and loop it again. Oh fuck, oh Barbie. It'll play twice. So remember, think different ones each time.
Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen. Oh, Barbie, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen.
Okay. It could be either. So I guess if your kid's watching this and hears that, I mean, whatever. It's not the worst word. You know what I mean? I mean, fuck is a bad word, but it's like in this context, it's not like they're using it in a derogatory way. But there's something else that's like this. I can't play it because of copyright, but if you, I think Opie and Anthony did this years ago on their radio show. Someone had called in and said, if you listen to Highway to Hell, there's a racial slur in there, depending if you're listening for it. So let me go to Highway to Hell lyrics, just so I can get the exact lyric again. Try not to. Okay, so if you go listen to AC/DC's Highway to Hell, at the beginning of the song, the lyrics go, living easy, loving free, season ticket on a one-way ride. So the key line is season ticket on a one-way ride. So if you look at the lyrics while you're listening to it, you'll hear season ticket on a one-way ride. But instead, if you go, wait, did I just hear the N-word? Sees a blank on a one-way ride? Sees an N-word on a one-way ride? You hear that too. Ever since I've been told that, that's all I hear when I hear that song. Very disturbing. So I wish I'd like to ask like some sort of audio person if this is like just a coincidence or if this is something that people could put in an audio file where, depending on what you're listening to, you can hear either. Let's hear it one more time. You be the judge.
Oh, Mark, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen.
Drums.
Oh, Mark, those were vintage. It's okay. All right, go ahead. I don't care. They're a dime a dozen.
Tell me what you think.
All good things must come to an end.
All right, guys, that's a quick podcast this week. I wanted to get one out because I didn't want to skip yet another week. I got to go back to taking care of my conehead, my little doggy, trying to recover from his eye surgery. So remember, you can send me voicemails to 973-908-8477. I need you to subscribe to YouTube. I need you to subscribe on Spotify or wherever you listen on the audio platforms. And real quick, I want to promote some upcoming shows. I have a good December coming up. I'll be at the Rhino Theater in Suffern, New York 2 times this month. I'll be headlining December 17th and New Year's Eve. So if you can't make it out for New Year's Eve and you are up in that area, come see me December 17th at the Rhino Theater in Suffern, New York. I think you just Google like Rhino Comedy and it'll come up. Or you can go to joefernandez.net. I'll have a link there as soon as they give me the ticket link. I will also be headlining Uncle Vinny's Comedy Club, Point Pleasant, December 28th. And I know I will be doing actually some spots in New York City. If you happen to be in town, I will be in the Greenwich Village on December 12th and 19th, the 8 o'clock show at the Comedy Shop in Greenwich Village and the 10 o'clock show at the Grizzly Pear. A lot of times I go up early because I want to get out of there and get back to Jersey, especially the 10 o'clock show at the Grizzly Pear. So come out to that show. It's always a good lineup, or either show. If you're in Jersey that night, before I head into New York, I'll be at a place called the Taco Affair in Little Falls. So that's a good show. I don't know who's on it yet, but I know Brett Druck and Matt Jenkins, who are hilarious comics, are running it, and I'm sure they're doing time on the show as well. But they're the guys that run the show. And what else do I have? I think that might be it. The December 10th, this Saturday, I'll be on my buddy KP Burke's show at the Dojo of Comedy in Morris Plains. It's like KP's show, but he's running it more like showcase style. So I think he's hosting it and doing banter in between. Then I think I'm closing it out. So go to dojoofcomedyeast.com. I think that's the webpage. But type in Dojo of Comedy, Morris Plains, New Jersey, and you can get tickets for Saturday, December 10th. But thanks, everybody, for checking it out. I'm going to be back in the mix with this better next week. I feel like I just banged this one out, but I wanted to do it. So just to stay consistent.